Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Pass off to Tominaga. Couple of dribbles, 3 dribbles, 4 dribbles. The runner's up and good by Tominaga off the left hand.
How the heck did he make that one?
Shelley goes down the lane, kicks to Scoggins, same spot for 3. You betcha! Ashley Scoggins on fire, and the Huskers have the lead.
Burge down inside to a wide open, and a dunk by Walker. Oh man, did they snooker Ohio State.
Hyvee solo with Cloud, and Cloud bouncer, and it counts, and a foul. Sam Hyvee changes the game, picks the ball off, and gets a foul on Michigan State's best player.
To Kobe Webster. Webster reverses to Tominaga. Jab step, back it comes to Webster, shoots a long 3. Got it! Big, huge goal by Webster.
3 seconds, 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Michael Caton, deep right corner at the buzzer. You betcha! Michael Caton beats the buzzer.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome into Sports Nightly, everybody. I'm Jessica Coody. A different setup for you because Greg Sharpe is off to host the Outland Trophy Award Ceremony tonight, which is always a cool deal for you to be a part of. So you're going to help me out on this first segment, and then I'll take it solo the rest of the way in a huge show coming up. Great interview with Bill Bush, talked all things special teams and recruiting. I know people are anxious to hear about that, and he told some fantastic stories, so you'll want to stick around for that interview coming up right after Greg leaves us, and then we have Jojo Doman coming up in hour number 2 as well. So jam-packed show, but did want to squeeze Greg in here before he had to go off to that ceremony. First of all, how cool is it to be a part of the Outland Trophy? And you get a national champion here this year.
It's been fun. I think this is my 10th or 11th year of doing this banquet. It's really a cool thing in the city of Omaha. The Omaha Sports Commission has been hosting this banquet, Jessica, since the early 90s. And before 1988, the Outland Trophy winner got a plaque. And then somebody around Omaha goes, that doesn't seem right. We need to come up with a nice, cool trophy. And so they developed the trophy that is the current one. And what they did for the last 20-some years is they would bring back somebody who had just gotten a plaque, and they gave them a real trophy. And so it's been fun. They've kind of caught up now. I think they've kind of checked off all the list of people that are at least living ones to be able to do that. And so they've kind of done with that. But 5 years ago, they started the Tom Osborne Legacy Award. Tonight it's going to Will Shields, which is a great Husker great, Outland Trophy winner himself, Pro Football Hall of Famer. So Will's going to be in attendance. JoJo's coming to the banquet because they're going to honor the 4 Husker Senior Award winners. And only JoJo will be there and Levi Falk. Ben Stilley gets one of the awards, but he's playing in one of the games this weekend. And Austin Allen's out with a trainer getting ready for the combine and the draft. So they won't be there. But it's a fun night. It's a good night. And so looking forward to being in Omaha.
Well, big news coming out today as the Nebraska football schedule for 2022 officially out. And what's kind of the first thing you took away?
I love the breakout of the bye weeks. You know, last year, Jessica, we had that crazy thing where we played 7 games.
Such a grind.
And then we had 2 games and then another bye week. They're spread out more. So I like that we're going to play the first 4, have a bye at the end of September, play 3, then have a bye toward late October, and then the 5. They shuffled things around. We said last night on the show that we knew that Wisconsin and Purdue were going to change, that we were going to get Wisconsin here, we would go to Purdue. But they shuffled more than I thought they were going to. Rutgers got moved a few weeks back. Indiana got moved around a little bit. The Michigan game got moved around a little bit. So there's some more changes than I had anticipated, but I love where the bye weeks fall. Everybody's going to focus on November, and it's a killer. November schedule's really going to be difficult, but it's the Big Ten. You're going to play good teams week in and week out. So to me, the biggest thing was they spread the bye weeks out, and I like where they fall.
I think kind of the one thing which we knew this was going to happen, but no bye week separating, the Ireland trip and getting right back to it for the home opener against North Dakota. The time change and just the travel, that could be tough. They'll have to get refocused really quickly. But, if you take care of business against Northwestern and then you beat North Dakota and Georgia Southern, you get a chance to go 3-0 into the Oklahoma matchup too.
Sure does. And the other thing that I like is after we get back from Ireland, we don't go on the road again until October the 8th. So a batch of home games and a bye in there as well. So there's not going to be really any travel for the team after the long flight over to Dublin. I'm not all that concerned about having to bounce back and play North Dakota. These are young kids. Even if they have a little bit of jet lag, they'll be over it and fine and ready to go the next week.
Well, I know that the players are excited to hopefully get to go on that trip, so they'll be excited about that. And it's the opening of the season. It's not like midway through you got to bounce back. So, any other notables there we should talk about?
Just, you look at November. It's Minnesota at Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa. It's a gauntlet to finish the whole thing off. But I think that there's a real possibility here, and Husker fans may go, okay, they're drinking the Kool-Aid again. But there's a real possibility, I think, to get off to a good start with that schedule. With all those home games and not having to leave Lincoln after the trip to Ireland, I think there's a chance to build some momentum with this team, and that's something that's been sorely lacking in the last couple of years.
I think it's just always fun when it's official, it's out, and hey, this is what it's going to be, and you can start kind of planning out your football schedule when you're hopefully not going to have weddings that you ask people to be a part of,
Well, and now people can set weddings.
Yeah.
And there may be some people mad today because the bye weeks did shift from what was in the media guide this past year. So you may have some brides today going, are you kidding me? I thought we were going to have it open. Now you got Indiana coming here on October the 1st or whatever the case may be. But, yeah, people do set their fall calendars based on Husker football schedule.
All right, so men's basketball last night. We had talked about going to going to be a tough matchup, but man, they came out. What a start! You couldn't have asked for a better start to that game.
Great start. Love seeing Lat drill a shot early. Casey hit a couple of nice jumpers. And I was really impressed, Jessica, with the run they had right before halftime because Illinois had taken the lead, and Nebraska fought back and had a run to take the lead into the locker room. I love that. The last 4 minutes obviously didn't go the way, and that's the next step for Fred and his program is how you finish games, and they have not been able to do that very well.
I think the two biggest positives I took away, we've been waiting for them to shoot the ball well because we've been hearing that they could. Beyond that, but Illinois came in and just has been dominating people on the boards. And Nebraska did a really good job. They did not get just completely dominated on the rebounding front. And then also, they matched up well. They played great defense most of the way, which is what kind of allowed for them to have good offense.
The defense was really active. I liked the way that they fought. And, I thought Derek played terrific. And even Coach Underwood after the game said Derek Walker's one of the better post defenders in our league. He did a great job on Kofi. And Kofi, I know, had a double-double, but he's going to get his points. And I loved Fred Hoiberg and the staff's decision not to double down on him because if you do that, then you're going to leave shooters open, and then you're giving up threes instead of twos. So I thought that was the right play to do that last night.
In his post-game interview, Coach Underwood talked about that team is getting better, it's obvious they're getting better quickly, and they're a dangerous team. And he said they're going to win a lot of games down the stretch. And I've been saying that, and it just hasn't translated, and I think a lot of that is because maybe the shooters haven't been getting as good of looks, but they got good looks last night because they were the ball movement and whatnot. But when they get all of that figured out and they shoot the ball like they did last night, they're a dangerous team to match up against. And there's a lot of teams that don't want to face a hot shooting Nebraska team.
They're going to pick some people off in the coming weeks. And I just go back, Jessica, to back in late August, September, whenever the schedule came out, and we saw when the calendar flipped to 2022, how difficult those first couple of weeks were going to be with Ohio State and Michigan State and Illinois and Purdue, who's the opponent on Friday. We knew it was going to be hard, and it has been. But, boy, they take Ohio State to overtime. Last night they're tied with Illinois with 4 minutes to go. I see some positives. Obviously, we got to start getting some in the win column, and I think that's coming.
And hopefully, again, when Trey McGowan gets back. But Bryce he had another good game. He has strung together some really good games, and he hasn't settled for, the three, even though it was going down for him last night. He was getting to the rim, and which is where he's best. He needs to continue to do that. I did also want to talk to you about women's basketball because they have a tough matchup again. This has not been a fun stretch for them either.
And we talked about this a week or so ago, how it was going to be difficult with Michigan and then Iowa and then Indiana tomorrow. They're ranked in the top 10, and then back to Iowa on Sunday. Tough stretch. I know they're anxious to get back out there. I know they were disappointed that they didn't get on the right side on Sunday, but it'll be a challenge. I think Indiana might be the best team in the league.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one, but I do think I think they beat Iowa on Sunday.
Do you?
Yeah.
I hope so.
And hopefully if Bella gets back, that will help inside, but I think they were pretty upset that they didn't come out with a win, and that when they played Iowa really tough, but they come out pretty fired up. And then how about softball? We're going to talk some softball, but what a day they got to start. It feels like spring out there.
They're stealing. I mean, and Rhonda would probably tell you, yeah, we're stealing days. If they can get out, they can probably get out. They were out today, and they're going to be out tomorrow because it's supposed to be 55 again tomorrow. That is so big to be able to get out. And people say, well, you got that great indoor facility. That's true, and it's wonderful to have that. And they have the Hawks. They'll come over and take ground balls and the Hawks and that type of thing. But to see the ball in the sky is a different thing. I know Will Bolt's probably wishing, I think baseball is probably doing some individual work. They have not started their full team workouts yet. He's probably jealous that Rhonda's getting some actual team practices in with good weather.
When do they start?
It's the last week of January. They don't get as much, for whatever reason, they don't get quite as much time before the season starts as softball, and I've never gotten an answer why that is. But softball also starts a week ahead of baseball.
Yeah.
So
it's a week from this Friday,
they start
right?
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks from Friday.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
This is crossover season. It's about to be crazy around here. All right. Anything else we missed?
I'm just glad that Bill was not shy with you.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill can be a shy. No, he's not. Bill is a really fun guy. You'll enjoy talking to him.
Yeah, and I think just a big addition, it was a need to get a special teams coordinator, but you think about it, a lot of coaches, when they come in, they're taking over for a completely new team. They don't know the guys. They don't know the players. They don't know the facilities. They don't know the staff, any of it. And he's already got a good feel of it.
Sure does.
He's got a good kind of perspective before he kind of starts implementing what he's doing.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to listening.
All right, have fun at the Outland Trophy.
Should be a good time.
Should be a
and
fun
we're not
one.
back together until Tuesday.
I know, it's wild.
Basketball coming up.
I love it when it's lots of fun basketball matchups every night of the week. So have fun and best of luck. All right, the Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplify car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Bill Bush up next here on Sports Nightly.
Get your ice cold Bud Light, seltzer here. Just go to budlight.com/delivery.
Hey, Bud Light!
I'm ready!
Whenever there's a game to watch, there's a Bud Light there. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, and Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
You could win a 2022 Porsche Macan from Porsche Omaha this season. 4 lucky Husker fans will have a chance to win a 2022 Porsche Macan if they make a putt on the court at halftime at one of 4 home men's basketball games this season. Each contestant will receive a pair of tickets, hospitality, and a visit with the broadcast team before one of the home games with Ohio State, Rutgers, Northwestern, or Iowa. For more information and the official rules, go to huskers.com/putt.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
I'm Bruce Chubbuck, and I'm your local Flat Branch Home Loans lender. At Flat Branch Home Loans, we pride ourselves on living, working, and playing in the communities we serve. In my playing days at the University of Nebraska, I was known as a blue-collar worker. I take the same pride in being your mortgage professional as I did in representing Husker Nation. Head to brucechubbuck.com to learn more. Let's get you home.
A division of Flat Branch Mortgage, Inc., NMLS 224149, Equal Housing Lender. For licensing info, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Here is a before winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, call J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
If your business communication slows down, your business slows down. Kidwell can help. Kidwell streamlines your company's communications with phone systems that work the way you work, in the office or on the road. Kidwell systems provide the unified communications features your users demand, like voicemail to email, instant messaging, and calendar integration. And Kidwell will be there providing training, service, and support to make sure you get the most out of your investment. Don't let communications problems slow down your business. Visit kidwellinc.com.
Hey Husker fans, this is Anne-Marie from the Nebraska Beef Council. Just like the big red wins on the court, you can win at the dinner table with great tasting beef. From steaks and roasts to ground beef and kebabs, there are countless ways to create a meal that will have your family cheering for more. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for easy beef recipes, cooking tips, and meal inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. I'm Jessica Coody, and very excited to welcome in Bill Bush, the special teams coordinator for Nebraska football. The announcement coming in on Monday. Scott Frost making that announcement, but not new to the role, obviously not new to Nebraska, just back in the role. But you settled into a new office. How's the process, the transition going for you?
Obviously, it's great to be back here. It's such an honor to have a chance to coach here ever, and then to have a chance to be here 3 times. That's pretty cool. So I'm very humble and very excited about it. Like I said, I worked my whole life to get back here, and so to have this opportunity is just great. Now, we talked about earlier, the office move, not great, because I'm right at the hub of the office, right in the middle of everything, right where Matt Davidson's at, and Sims and the head coach and everyone like that. So a lot of people stopping by, walking by. So as long as you have some things to do, but it's great to be here.
That's awesome. Can you maybe tell us a little bit about the process of when you started having conversations with Coach Frost and he wanted to bring back this position, the special teams coordinator, and why you kind of wanted to move into that role too?
Well, obviously it's something that I've done in the past, and so I've been very fortunate to have those opportunities. It's kind of a job that everyone wants to take a giant step back away from. Everyone's kind of like, I really don't want to do that type of thing. That there's a lot of things that go with it and stuff. So I've always kind of embraced it. I've had some opportunities to work for some great head coaches, had the chance to work for them and do this in the past, so it made things a lot easier. And then obviously like that, I was able to be around the football office this year as a defensive analyst. Around with Coach Frost right there, I had a very great situation where I could just kind of hang out for a year. I was kind of on sabbatical for a year from being at LSU, and so I had a lot of opportunities to be around players, see how things are done. And like I said, we all know there's been some tough things happen over the last few years and on this past year like that, but I couldn't be more excited to be here. I love the staff. Head coach is doing a great job.
How important is it to have that role? You know, I mean, because again, we didn't have it last year, but to have somebody designated to being the special teams coordinator.
Well, I think it's obviously it's very important at that, because it's always nice to have someone that they look to, like that's the guy. I think that's like anything else, whether it be offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, your position. Accountability helps a bunch in that area for us right now. The one thing I'll say is that I was around here last year. I saw what was done, and I saw what Coach Dawson and the rest of the staff did, and there was some unfortunate situation didn't work out great, but I know what's good and what's not good, and I know that our staff last year did an incredible job working-wise. The results were not what they needed to be. We all know that, but I know this right there, that the people that were involved last year, they were outstanding, and they worked their tails off, and we're going to keep doing the same thing.
So when you started into coaching, were a defensive backs coach, you've defensive coordinator, and then your first time holding the special teams coordinator title was here at Nebraska. You're the first or the second stint, I guess. Was there like a certain moment or time throughout maybe playing or coaching that you realized that, that special teams is important and you wanted to kind of really go all in on that and kind of be dedicated to that?
In the positions I coached at defensive backs, those guys all play special teams. So I was always involved in some aspect of it. Then I was with Urban Meyer at Utah. I was heavily involved, and then I ended up speaking at the coaches convention on kickoff, and so I got a little more involved in it. But to be honest with you, I got hired here at Nebraska, had no idea, sat down in my first staff meeting, just talking about what we're going to do, how things are going. Oh, by the way, Bill, glad you're here, and you are the special teams coordinator. I'm like, I did not know that. I'm not aware of that. So I had a chance to be like, okay, better get pretty bought in real fast. And you get to bridge both the whole team. You get to work with receivers, running backs, every position with the O-line when it's in protection for the field goal team, all the different aspects. You get to cross paths them. So it also makes it a lot of fun to be on that team because you know everyone. Some places, like I've been around some coaches that coach the running backs or whatever position. I'm like, I really don't know the defensive line. That's not my role. In this role, you get a chance to be around everyone. So just really fortunate to have that chance.
So when you got into that role, what did you kind of immediately learn what it takes to be successful in that third phase in special teams?
The thing that stands out the most is I always tell everyone, I say, when you turn on someone's film, I said, and you watch their kickoff team and their field goal block team, that's when you know what kind of day you're in for. And when you see the effort, you feel a field goal block team, and you feel a kickoff team like that. You can just sense them. You feel their power, their intent. When you see teams that are sloppy, don't try to block a field goal. Take one step and jog off the field. Or their kickoff team is just like they don't buzz all the way through the end zone. Things like that. You know you have advantage. So my first thing out of the gate was we're going to play with effort. And high effort, it has to happen. The next thing is being situational masters. I mean, just through the bowl games right there of watching and myself on TV, we picked out 50 teachable moments. There's so many unique things that happen, and so you have to be on top of all those because all of a sudden when they happen, give you an example, there's a term called Mayday field goal, which means you're going to run out and have to kick a field goal while the clock's running on the last play of the game. Well, in my 30 plus years of coaching, I've never had to defend one, and I've never had to run one, but yet you do it every week because when you need it, you need it. It's important to know. It's my bad. You don't get a my bad. Everything's fourth down on special teams. So you want to be really kind of tied into being situational masters, and the kids buy into it because they're really smart. They've always been really smart. And if you're a fraud, they know. And so you got to be able to be ahead of them in that aspect right there, so they know that they feel very well prepared for every situation they go into.
So your dad was a high school coach, right? I mean, is that what you always kind of wanted to? You always knew you wanted to get into coaching?
Oh yeah, that was always my deal like that. To anything like that from be around my dad. Anything I grew up around him, saw how he treated people, how he taught people. He was here in Nebraska for 40-some years as a head coach and coached all the way up until late 70s at different things. So that's what I always wanted to be. But I always wanted to be a college coach, and so we started that off very early. One of the first conversations that we had was with my dad had with Frank Solich when I was still in college was about how can my son get into college, and it was like, well, he should be here as a coach's clinic and things. So that got me started down that path, and then that got me started to what I wanted to do and try to find my way into it like that. So I got very fortunate, like I said, to get hired at UNK, which I will always call Kearney State. So I was a loafer there to be started there. And then kind of an interesting story, like I said, that there was no cell phones back then. There was no time to do any of that. And so I went down to the sports information director. That's the only landline that there was that we had access to use. And they probably couldn't track where the calls went. So I went down there, made a call to Nebraska football, asked for Coach Osborne. They're very nice. Mary Lynn was the secretary, said, he's not available, take your name. So I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm not going to talk to him. I'll just keep trying, see if I have a chance. So about an hour later, someone comes down and goes, hey, Bill, Coach Osborne's on the phone for you in the sports information office. And so I ran down there. I had no clue what I was talking about. I'm like 22 years old. So I explained to him that I wanted to get into college coaching. I'm coaching here at Kearney State, and I'd love to get a chance to coach a Division I football, be a GA. That's what I wanted. I did it very calmly as Coach Osborne would talk. He told me there's no spots available, don't have anything here. I said, I'm going to be in town tomorrow. I already have my master's degree. I'm going to be in town tomorrow. Can I stop by? Said, yes, you can. You can stop by. So I stopped by and just thought, I'll do anything so if I can work for free. And so I worked at the Lincoln Racket Club like early in the morning. I'd come and I'd volunteer here free all day and then go back. And then I, like I said, I got I wanted to go to the games. So George Darlington was the one that would get me in at the home games. And he always had everyone knew who George was, and he had his sideline pass and his press box pass. And he would sneak it to me. So I could have that to sneak into the press box to get up because I didn't work here. So that was always kind of an interesting deal. So ended up working there at that, and I'm walking down the hallway one time, and Kevin Steele, longtime great assistant coach everywhere that he's been, was like, do you want to do recruiting? I was helping recruiting just for free. I said, no, I want to coach. And he goes, come with me. So I just went over to defense and started hanging around with Charlie McBride and Kevin and George Darlington and all those guys right there. And then I said I wanted to go on the road, and I couldn't because I didn't work here. So got a fake coach's outfit made, and then I would drive myself to the games. I'd wait for the buses to pull up, and I would just slide in line with them and get myself into the stadium like that. So then George would get me to the press box and all those things. Had some long ride home, long drive home after Oklahoma game to drive all the way back by yourself. But so that's how I got in. And then eventually they said they thought I worked here, so they hired me. So that's how I got on.
Just waltz in like you own the place, right? And nobody
like
asking any different, right?
Yeah. There's a Seinfeld show where Kramer does that, where all of a sudden he just kind of gets caught up, and then all of a sudden he's going to work there, and he really didn't work there. So very fortunate to have that opportunity to be able to work out. So very, very thankful for all the people here in this state.
That's awesome. What a story. So what was kind of the first, when you were on that, you then got hired as a graduate assistant and started working here. What were some of the things that you really took away from Tom Osborne and learning from him?
The biggest thing was, like I said, how he managed his staff. He had a very loyal staff that was with him for a long time. Very few pieces went in and out. So I thought that was very, very impressive like that. And it was very clear who the boss was in his own way, that he never told you he was the boss. So it was just fun how the respect level was and how things were done on a daily basis right there. It's the most impressive staff I've ever been around with those guys, because no one had their own agenda, which means no one was trying to backdoor to be the defensive coordinator. No one was trying to get their name here. Everyone just did their part at extremely high level, and I saw how hard they recruited. I saw how hard they coached, how organized they were. And so I said, to get a chance to work for Coach Osborne, I was a GA for a semester with Coach Solich, spent most of my time on defense, and with George, who's obviously my ultimate mentor in coaching. And so just to be around that and see it live every day was just so impressive to see right there. And then to see someone do it like Coach Osborne that did it with, on one hand count the time he probably raised his voice, but things were done at a very, very high level. So it was very, very unique situation.
All right, we've got to work in a quick break here, but Bill Bush will be back with us for another segment, so keep it right here and help stop the spread of COVID and score a Husker basketball VIP package. Win a Huskers basketball VIP experience, including tickets, a signed basketball, and exclusive game day access, courtesy of Nomi Health, your convenient COVID-19 testing partner. Visit huskers.com/Nomi. Back with more with Coach Bush coming up right after this.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
What's better than Huskers basketball? A Husker basketball VIP package. Enter for a chance to win 4 tickets to a game, hospitality access with food, a signed basketball, and the chance to hang courtside during warm-up, all courtesy of Nomi Health, your convenient COVID-19 testing partner. So, get tested and help stop the COVID spread and enter to score a Husker basketball VIP package. Slam dunk, indeed. To enter, visit huskers.com/Nomi, huskers.com/NOMI.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so cold. The furnace is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with a new system. Call 391-2336 or visit soshvac.com today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to listen in on a transmission from Major Laura Stanton, the first person on Mars after a 7-month mission to the planet.
Houston, do you read me?
Copy that, Major. Anything you need?
Yeah, what were last night's Powerball numbers?
With the starting jackpot in the millions and drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, everybody wants to know about Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery.
What's it look like there, Major?
Red.
Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
What's better than Huskers basketball? A Husker basketball VIP package. Enter for a chance to win 4 tickets to a game, hospitality access with food, a signed basketball, and the chance to hang courtside during warm-up, all courtesy of Nomi Health, your convenient COVID-19 testing partner. So, get tested and help stop the COVID spread and enter to score a Husker basketball VIP package. Slam dunk, indeed. To enter, visit huskers.com/Nomi, huskers.com/NOMI.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Osborne.
And I'm Coach Frost.
Statistics prove that youth who are mentored and receive support and guidance from a caring adult show measurable improvement in academic achievement, motivation to succeed, and hope.
Over the past 30 years, Teammates has served more than 43,000 youth, and right now there are more than 1,000 waiting for a Teammates mentor to visit with them once a week in school.
For more information on how you can help the Teammates Mentoring Program, please go to teammates.org, and thank you for supporting our youth.
Sponsored by Nebraska Crossing Fast Cash app. Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. We continue our conversation with Special Teams Coordinator Bill Bush, and it's been well noted how successful of a recruiter you are, and from the start of your coaching career. How have you been able to evolve? How has that evolved for you that you've been able to maintain being such elite recruiter throughout all the times and still relate to these kids as you try to get them to come play football for you?
I've always said with recruiting for anyone, this isn't me, it's anyone, either they can or can't. So people get caught up with, well, he's not from here. He's not from, he needs to have this, he needs to be from this part like that. That's not true. I've been around really good recruiters that recruited from all over the place in different areas like that. So the biggest thing that has to happen in recruiting is like that you have to adapt. So I'm older. I can't go with I really don't like Twitter. I don't want to do texting.
TikTok
I don't want to
dances?
do that stuff. Yeah, I'm not doing that. You have to. You have to adapt to what's going on and what the main thing is. It's still in the recruiting process. To be able to get people to talk to them, they have to like you. So the first thing is to get the person, the recruit, to like you. So when you do text them to call or you're reaching out to them, they always answer the phone. Then you always have a chance. Then you get a chance to go to the next level, So you have to be able to build that part of a relationship with them to be able to get it done. But the biggest thing you have to be able to adapt, because it has changed so dramatically from when it was. Like my first years out recruiting, I literally just had like a manila folder with numbers written on them on just pen, just ink, whatever. There was no tracking of this, no tracking of that. It was your job just to get good players figured out. And now it's just so much more, digital of all the things you have to monitor to get everything done. And you can't just like, I don't do that. You have to do it. And so adapting to be able to stay up to speed has been a big part of it, that's for sure.
So when you go about, recruiting young guys to come play here, are you looking at what they could provide to your special teams as well?
Oh, absolutely. That's the first thing you want to do is make get your room better in every aspect. So you're always looking at that. So I always talk about the thing that stands out the most. One thing I'm like competitive spirit. Like that. So if the competitive spirit's what I look for right away, and if someone says they're competitive, I'll always ask them, prove it to me. So that means how they competitive, which means if you have someone that's a 3-sport athlete, say he was a state runner-up in wrestling, he won the 200 intermediate hurdles, and then he was all-state in football. That means he's probably pretty competitive. He took one uniform off, got on the next one, and was able to compete. If they're like they play wide receiver, and no other sports don't play defense, I'm not so sure. So you always look at ways to find out how competitive are these kids like that, because it gets really hard when you get here. Everyone gets like that. So the guys that are super competitive, like they're fine with it. They're like, yep, little setback today, whatever's like that, I'm fine with it. So find super competitive kids, because you already have to have some form of measurables, your size, all the things that go with it. And then the next thing is don't waste time on academic failures. And some people are like that. They'll talk, and then like that. You have to better know up front where they are academically. I can't take someone to Mike Dawson, and I really like this kid. We go through the whole deal, and he likes him. We get the process is really going that, my bad. He has no chance of qualifying, or not a good, or he's got some off the field stuff I didn't know about. Don't waste their time. So you have to be diligent in your background work before it gets to the next phase.
What about managing the kicking teams underneath the special teams? Like, how do you go about managing the kickers, the punters, and all of those guys?
It's always a unique challenge, because they can't go practice. We have a 24-period practice. They can't kick and punt for the whole day. There's certain pitch counts they have to be on for number of kicks, number of punts, number of holds, all the things that they do. So, but everything is detailed out for them in their day, like on the practice plan. Every second of what they're doing is planned out. Now, it's not always doing the kicking, punting, and this. There's certain situational master stuff that we work on. We will dry run some things to be able to get them done. And so, but you have to manage them very good like that, and then always be fair, and also document everything that they do. So there's not a thing that they do if they're beside their early warm-up that's not documented. So everything every punt, every kick, every snap, every hold is all documented that way. That way you always have a chance to come back to some things to show, here's where we're at, here's how to be a pro, do those things. And then we use a lot of, I didn't kick, I didn't punt, not many people have. So I use a lot of people that are really good. So like right now, like Sam Cook with the Ravens like that. So talk to him all the time. We're in constant use with him like that to talk about punting. So he was my punter when I was here the first time as special teams coordinator. And then we used local people that are around for us right there like that, like Brett Maher and those guys like that that are around like that to be able to be around to help us like that. So we're always using what's our best resources that's legal that we can use that are available for these guys to be around.
It's funny because when I was reading up about some of what some coaches have said about you throughout your career, detail-oriented always seems to kind of come up, and I can kind of see it already in this interview. How did you kind of become someone that is so detail-oriented in what you do?
I don't know if ever we became. It's my mom. She's the one. Yeah, my mom's. Yeah, if you want to talk about details and production, that's Sharon Bush, like that. So you just have to get it. Just I think it's part of just wanting to be competitive and win. So like that, you just know when you walk out there, and you always want to be viewed that everything is when you're asked a question, how you're going to answer it and be done. I also learned at a very young age in the coaching profession, you get asked something, that you don't have an answer to, my first response is, not sure, I'll research it. And so you don't just throw random things out, you don't guess on things, and it makes your life just so much easier. When your day and everything's mapped out, it's just easier than waking up, like, oh man, I gotta get this put together on some stuff. So being detailed is just kind of fun, to be honest with, like that. And then, like I said, kids see it, they know what has to happen with them, so it all works out pretty good.
Just a couple more for you. As again, you take over this position and you move into. I know the guys will start working out. Some of them are still kind of filing in on campus. But when you start spring ball, how do you go about implementing kind of what you want to do on special teams?
It's a great question. We'll have a very detailed of what we'll start with, as far as which is always going to be done, is there's always going to be individual work all throughout the year, every week. Some people can get off of that a little bit as the season goes along, and they just go not so much into certain drill work. So we always want to have a great mix of team and drill work, but we always have a very clear starting point for us right there. So the first thing we start with is kickoff. Like I just talked about, you have to have a great kickoff team. There's never in the history of college football has there been a great football team without a great kickoff coverage team. So we start with that. Then we always start, and the next phase is always punt. And so we have it very clear what we want to get done. So they know when you meet when the day starts, objectives of the day, crystal clear of what has to happen, how we get to it. We talk about transition all the time like that. It's like when that horn blows and we're going into this phase, and so it's always, do they know the exact drills they're doing before they get to them? You have zero time to explain a drill in between the time slot you have. That has to all be done in the meeting prior to practice that day. When we do this, we're going to this. We do this, we go to this. Here's the lines that you're in. It's all put up on the deal. These are the lines that you're in. This is where you go to. If you're not sure, if you can't remember what line you're in, it also says there what coach you report to. So if it's like, hey, it's Coach Chenander, if I'm screwed up, I know this. When that horn blows, I know I go to him, and I can at least get to the next phase right there. If you're watching teams practice, how they implement special teams right there, you'll know right away if they're pretty well organized, and they'll probably have a chance to be pretty darn successful.
So in addition to just implementing the system and what you kind of do, the personnel that you want to rely on in those situations, is that something that you want to have a good feel for once spring ball is done? Or is it something that will, obviously it'll continue into the fall, but how do you go about managing which guys you want in certain positions?
A big part of that's the assistant coaches like that. Now, we're always going to have, from a coordinator standpoint and from a head coach, where all the conversations are made, who we feel are good at these spots. Here's what's going on in every single spot. But you have to play your very good players at the best. Sometimes it's not an every rep situation, but you have to have certain guys. If you get into a game, say like that, and the game's either out of control or there's a lot of scoring going on, sometimes you have to have somebody. So I try to stack people. So if you have a starting linebacker on kickoff, the person behind him is also a starting linebacker, so they could rotate every other kickoff to because they're going out there on defense. So you're always looking at those spots, but you have to have your elite players. You have to have starters heavily involved in the depth charts with what they're doing.
So then, all right, what's next? You're getting settled into your office, you're greeting people, you're the welcoming committee when they come into the football office, but before you get on the field for spring football, what's kind of your process the next couple of months?
So like right now, obviously the next couple of weeks, our most important thing is we have a couple weeks on the road for recruiting. So that kind of overtakes everything, except for the fact that I'm lucky to have a assistant and Coach Connors like that. So we've already met in detail on what exactly our guys are doing now that they're back. And so they already have a very detailed plan. We cannot be out there with them on some things with what they do on the field, but they have a detailed, like the kickers, snappers, holders, they have exactly what they do on their own every single day. And so that's all documented out for us. So there's no wasted time. You just don't have time to be like, well, we'll catch up on that. We're good. We'll get it when we get back. No, there's no we're good. So we just have to start faster at that. So we're starting faster. That's already going for us right now. So having those small parts implemented like there. Now, we won't be able to get in some group meetings on the specifics of kickoff return, punt, until we get back from the recruiting part of it. But the individual part and individual work is already being done in that process.
And again, kind of a unique perspective for you because you were here already. So it's not like you were completely new going into this position and not know about the personnel and kind of what's been implemented here. How excited are you about, the potential of the guys that you've already seen here and kind of getting to be able to get to work on implementing what you want to do in the special teams?
It is like that. It's mind-blowing how much it helps to know, like just when I walk around and see everybody in the weight room now, and it's that I know everyone. I've seen them play. I kind of know where they probably can be pushed a little bit more, where they can buy into. I know those that are completely bought in, how they can help bring someone else along. I know their skill set because I've seen it from afar. Wasn't able to coach on the field last year, but I was able to watch what they do and what they do really well. It's a huge advantage to have that knowledge like that instead of starting from square one to be able to do it like that. And then also, I think it's kind of nice when they do all know my name. Like that, when I come back like that, I know that's Coach Bush. I know what we're doing. I know we have some idea about what's going on. So I think that's a positive for us.
Well, Bill Bush, we appreciate your time and congratulations. I know fans are excited to have you on board in the special teams coordinator role.
Yeah, it's like one of the greatest things ever. You know, like I said, my wife was a cheerleader here and stuff like that, and so obviously she's ecstatic right there. Although when she was a cheerleader here, I was a graduate assistant here, and she did not talk to me at that time. So it's been discussed in great detail. So
how did you manage to get her to talk to you then?
We had to work through a friend. We had to have a plan. It took a little while, but we ended up getting it done like that. So and like I said, like that, she's a elite person. She can do better than me, so I'm just hoping she stays with me. That's kind of my hope right now. So
we could fill the whole show with your storytelling. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, we're going to step aside for a quick break. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. More Sports Nightly coming up after this.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to listen in on a transmission from Major Laura Stanton, the first person on Mars after a 7-month mission to the planet.
Houston, do you read me?
Copy that, Major. Anything you need?
Yeah, what were last night's Powerball numbers?
With the starting jackpot in the millions and drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, everybody wants to know about Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery.
What's it look like there, Major?
Red.
Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, the sweetest fruits of life come from serving others. And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
See Dave Dahl in Ralston, Sharon Lear in Pavilion, or Scott Vermas in La Vista.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Well, how great was Bill Bush? Man, I got to say, I enjoyed that interview. He had some great stories. I didn't even get to all my questions that I wanted to ask him, but fun interview, and hopefully we'll continue to get to talk to Bill Bush more as he moves into that special teams coordinator position. The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. 402-413-2400. Get those texts and calls in for us. I'm Jessica Coody. Greg Sharpe off for tonight. He is emceeing the Outland Trophy Award ceremony. If you missed it off the top, he joined us, and we talked a little bit about the Huskers football schedule officially out. There were some changes to what maybe initially was announced, some few tweaks in there. And so, text us in. Let us know which game you have circled. Greg and I went through our games that we were looking at and excited for. So let us know what you guys are excited to see. Which date and opponent do you have circled on the schedule as it is now officially out? And coming up on the hour 7, in our 7 o'clock hour, I mean, we're just getting started. We have much more to come. I mean, softball had their first practice here this afternoon. Beautiful day for it. It was absolutely perfect outside. So they got to be outside for practice number 1. And I went out there and actually got a chance to chat with Courtney Wallace, a pitcher that will be returning for her senior season, and kind of get a preview of what's to come here in the preseason leading up to when they kick things off a month from Friday. Crazy. Softball will be here in a month, and then baseball, I think 6 weeks out. So we'll talk a little Husker softball. We have Orlando Brown Jr. with the Chiefs. I know there's a lot of Chiefs fans around here, and Orlando and I got to know him at Oklahoma, and thought, maybe fans around here, because I feel like I've met a lot of Chiefs fans that are here in Lincoln and in Nebraska. So going into the NFL playoffs this weekend, thought you guys might like to hear from him and his perspective on the Chiefs, how they got things turned around. I mean, you guys remember I had them. I was a big-time doubter of them earlier on in the season, but they've turned things around, and they'll go in to play the Steelers. Or the Steelers will be in Kansas City on Sunday as the NFL playoffs get kicked off. And Jojo Doman mentioned the Outland Trophy ceremony that Greg's at. Jojo is actually in town. He's getting an award, one of those senior awards that they honor at this awards banquet. So he's there, and he actually was able to join us on the phone and do an interview with us, and got a chance to talk with him with a lot of great topics there. We revisited the season and maybe what to look for coming forward. So 3 big interviews coming up still on the show, so you'll want to stick around in the 7 o'clock hour. I also wanted to mention as well, I mean, if you guys tune into Sports Nightly every week and you listen to Trev Alberts on his last show, his last athletics director show, he mentioned that he was going to be putting out a survey that was really important to him that fans fill out to kind of get a feedback on Memorial Stadium. And that is actually coming out tomorrow, January 13th. So over 200,000 donors, season ticket holders, and single game buyers is who that survey is going out to. And, he said, he had put out a quote that, first and foremost, I value the input of our fans, and this is a great opportunity to listen and get their input. The survey will provide us valuable data as we evaluate every area that impacts our fans on game day at Memorial Stadium. So, again, he talked a lot about that on his last show, and it was really important for him to hear the feedback of fans and some of the suggestions that you guys might have and how to improve Memorial Stadium moving forward. So, when he's in here doing his show, he's constantly taking notes and for when people call into the show or text in. And so he is dedicated to making that experience great for Husker fans. So make sure if you get that survey, you take the time to fill it out, because it is definitely really important to the athletics department and to the athletics director for sure. All right, mentioned just getting started. Lots coming up here in hour number 2. We have Jojo Doman will be joining us. We'll have Orlando Brown, the starting left tackle and Pro Bowler with the Chiefs, coming up, and Courtney Wallace, a pitcher for Nebraska Softball. That is up next. So still plenty to come. Keep it right here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Hour number 2 coming up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
United Healthcare believes small businesses are vital to our economy and an important part of our communities. Join United Healthcare in celebrating small businesses. I'm Rob Broomfield, United Healthcare of Nebraska CEO and a graduate of the University of Nebraska. We want to recognize your small business with the Spotlight on Small Business Sweepstakes. Winners receive radio interviews, social media recognition, and more. To enter, visit huskers.com/spotlight. United Healthcare, proud partner of Husker Sports.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com, one of our 19 dealerships, or a combination of both. It's that easy. Plus, offering the most wanted new makes and leading pre-owned models, your next vehicle is on the lot or on its way. Shop confidently with the Woodhouse team today. Serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
Here is a before winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, call J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
You live in a smart home powered by Cox Internet, so you're not thinking about the pizza delivery. You're thinking how nice it is to get everyone together for a fun night. You're not thinking about the pizza, maybe just a little.
Cox Home Life. Show me the front porch camera.
Pizza!
View your Cox Home Life cameras right from your TV using your Contour voice remote. Visit cox.com/thisishome to learn more.
Advertised features require subscription to Cox Internet and Contour TV. A high-speed internet connection is required. Home Life Security Services subject to Home Life Security Service Agreement. Cox Home Life Services provided by Cox licensed entities. See cox.com/licenses.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Pass off to Tominaga. Couple of dribbles, 3 dribbles, 4 dribbles. The runner is up and good by Tominaga off the left hand.
How the heck did he make that one?
Chili goes down the lane, kicks to Scoggins, same spot for 3. You betcha! Ashley Scoggins on fire, and the Huskers have the lead.
Verge down inside to a wide open, and a dunk by Walker. Oh man, did they snooker Ohio State.
Hyvee solo with Cloud, and Cloud bouncer, and it counts, and a foul. Sam Hyvee changes the game, picks the ball off, and gets a foul on Michigan State's best player.
To Kobe Webster. Webster reverses to Tominaga. Jab step, back it comes to Webster, shoots a long 3. Got it! Big, huge goal by Webster.
3 seconds, 2 seconds to go in the quarter. Michael Caton, deep right corner at the buzzer. You betcha! Michael Caton beats the buzzer.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
All right, welcome back into our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Hour number 2 here on Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Greg Sharpe out tonight. He is emceeing, hosting the Outland Trophy Award ceremony or banquet up in Omaha tonight. So, I've got you the rest of the way out. Our final show of the week is we've got a couple basketball broadcasts, big matchups coming up Thursday. Nebraska women at Indiana, number 6. So that'll be a tough one on the road. And then Nebraska men will hit the road on Friday. So this is our final hour of the week here on Sports Nightly. If you have any questions, comments, you want to call into the show, 402-413-2400. The Sports Nightly hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Well, if you missed it in hour number 1, got a chance to do a lengthy interview with new special teams coordinator Bill Bush, and I already went ahead and posted it up on our podcast page, and Huskers.com. So if you missed it or you want to go back and listen to it, it is up. You can go back and re-listen to that or check it out if you missed it in that first hour. Man, what a great storyteller. What a great person. You can see why, he kind of relates to anybody and everybody. And those recruits kind of buy into that personality. You understand why. You hear how great of a recruiter he is, an elite recruiter, and you meet him and you understand why. So I think he's got big plans ahead, and you heard how excited he is to be here and be coaching for Nebraska, and a cool perspective, or a unique perspective, as well as Greg and I had kind of talked about earlier. A lot of coaches, when they go into a new role, they're having to learn everything. They're having to learn about the players, the personnel, the building where everything is located, the staff, the support staff, everything. But, for him, he's going to be able to make that transition pretty easily, or smoother than probably most guys would, because he's already kind of got a perspective on a lot of the players that will be back. So can't wait to see what Bill Bush does with those special teams moving forward. And again, if you missed that, it is up right now on wherever you listen to our Huskers Radio Network podcast platforms, wherever you listen, it is up right now. So coming up on this hour of Sports Nightly, Jojo Doman, who is back in town for the Outland Trophy ceremony. He was going to be honored with an award that was given to him earlier this year. It was announced that he was going to be one of 4 guys on this past Huskers football team that received team awards. And so he is going to be honored tonight, and he joined us for an interview. And so great interview coming up with him and Orlando Brown, the starting left tackle for the Chiefs, as Kansas City enters the playoffs coming up this weekend. So that's what's coming up for you here on hour number 2. Nebraska Softball kicked off practice number 1 today. It was absolutely beautiful out there. They actually open up the season coming up 4 weeks from today, or 4 weeks from Friday. Sorry, I lost my notes here. They are in the Unidome tournament in Cedar Falls, Iowa, beginning February 11th. A number of teams in that tournament. So I got a chance to go out to a couple of fall games and worked them with Maddie Fowler Burkhart, and have kind of picked her brain a little bit. Had some young talent last year, so excited to see how kind of they develop. And I know they've brought in some newcomers that they're really excited about to get implemented that will be helpful right off the bat, that they're kind of expecting to make immediate impacts. And the pitching staff, it'll be by staff or by committee once again. And one of those pitchers that will play an integral role in the pitching staff rotation, Courtney Wallace, enters her senior season. She does everything. She's a pitcher, but she also hits, and she's kind of one of those players, hey, whatever you need me to do to help the team, I'm going to do it. And so right before they took the field for practice number 1, I got a chance to kind of preview the season with Courtney. All right, well, here you guys are about ready to start preseason spring training. How does it feel to kind of be able to get back out there?
It feels good. We're really excited to get out. We've had a good fall to build off of, so we're really excited to get outside actually in January.
I was gonna say, how about this weather to be able to do day 1 out there?
It's exciting. We were looking at the forecast last week, and we were like, oh, we might get to go outside 2 days in a row. Let's go. So
what's kind of what does it look like? What is a process for a team to kind of attack these next few weeks? I mean, you guys open up in a month to be able to be ready to go.
Yeah, so it's going to be long. It's going to be a long 30 days, and it's going to be one day at a time. The practice is the hardest part, getting through those 4 weeks, knowing that we're so close to playing, but we're not there yet. So just taking it one day at a time and being ready.
You talked about how good of a fall this team had. What was so good about it? What did you kind of learn that you guys did positively that you can hopefully carry over into when you guys start practice today?
Yep. We were really aggressive in the fall. I think our pitching staff did a really good job. Our ERA was low. We didn't make many errors, and we only lost 1 game. So that's a good step going into spring, knowing that some of those teams made postseason last year. So that gives us a good sight of where we're going for the spring.
Obviously, you'll have a big role in the circle, but kind of tell us about this pitching staff. Is it going to be kind of by committee? You guys have several pitchers that have had a lot of experience, right?
Yep. So it'll be by committee. I'm assuming that's how it usually is every year, and everyone's arms will go. So whoever's doing the best at the time, that's who's going to throw.
And both you still going to be hitting some too for you?
Yep, hitting, and honestly, wherever the coaches need me to go, that's where I'm going.
How much do you enjoy that part of being able to play multiple positions and be able to contribute in so many ways?
Yeah, I love it. Like you said, I love being able to contribute wherever my teammates need me. That's where I'm going to go. If they need me to catch and get behind the plate, that's what I'm going to do. I haven't gotten that chance yet, but I would love to. I would love to be a catcher, but wherever she needs me to go, that's what I'm going to do for my teammates.
And how do you feel going into your senior year? It seems like you've made improvements every single year. How good do you feel going into this one?
I feel really good. I feel like this is the hardest off season from summer to winter that I've had. I've tried really hard to come back with another pitch to help the staff so we can get our ERA lower. Senior year it came really fast, and I'm just trying to stay in the moment and take it one day at a time.
It seems like you guys had a lot of young players that contributed last year. How excited are you about their growth? And it's a pretty big difference from freshman to sophomore and sophomore to junior, right?
Yep. So I'm really excited for them. They're super aggressive. They have heart. They love to compete. And the biggest thing for them is going to be that mental switch. And I think that they're on the right track to get there.
And finally, just for fans that are listening and watching that may be considering getting some tickets and getting out to some ball games, give us a sell for fans to get out here and support you guys.
Yeah, they should come out and support. It's going to be a great season. We're going to come out, we're going to compete, and you got to come watch Husker softball.
I love me some softball season. I love watching college softball and can't wait to see that team in action. If you were watching that stream, I apologize. Obviously, I was shooting it myself. A lot of times I have Andrew or somebody help me shoot these interviews that we do on camera, but I was holding the camera and didn't realize how much I was moving it around when I was asking her the questions. So apologize if you got a little motion sickness watching that interview, but Courtney's great. Can't wait to see her and the rest of the Husker softball team in action. And again, coming up a month from Friday, they'll be opening up the season in Cedar Falls, Iowa. All right, let's step aside for a quick break because we got a lot to get to here in hour number 2. Nebraska 811 says go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, it's the law. Back with more Sports Nightly coming up right after this.
You could win a 2022 Porsche Macan from Porsche Omaha this season. 4 lucky Husker fans will have a chance to win a 2022 Porsche Macan if they make a putt on the court at halftime at one of 4 home men's basketball games this season. Each contestant will receive a pair of tickets, hospitality, and a visit with the broadcast team before one of the home games with Ohio State, Rutgers, Northwestern, or Iowa. For more information and the official rules, go to huskers.com/putt.
What's better than Huskers basketball? A Husker basketball VIP package. Enter for a chance to win 4 tickets to a game, hospitality access with food, a signed basketball, and the chance to hang courtside during warm-up, all courtesy of Nomi Health, your convenient COVID-19 testing partner. So, get tested and help stop the COVID spread and enter to score a Husker basketball VIP package. Slam dunk, indeed. To enter, visit huskers.com/Nomi, huskers.com/NOMI.
Momentum. It's building at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. With game-changing work in precision agriculture, nanoscience, and digital humanities. We're unlocking mysteries in brain research, solving the impossible with remote surgery using robots. And we're creating bold futures with world-leading research in early childhood education. We don't slow down, and we're not letting up. We are Nebraska.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Inspired by the legendary coach Tom Osborne, Nebraska Athletics is proud to introduce the 255 collection. With the mission to connect style with Nebraska pride, 255 was designed with the fan in mind. With high quality at the forefront, 255 can be worn anywhere, from sporting events and business meetings to backyard get-togethers. No matter the occasion, 255 is about feeling confident, looking good, and celebrating the remarkable coaching career of Tom Osborne. Shop now at Huskers.com or participating retailers. For more information, visit Huskers.com/255.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
This isn't the start. Before I got here, I started training. And before that, I did something to my back. But my first move was Athletico Physical Therapy. That's where I'd eventually end up. So why not start there? I mean, my therapist immediately found the source of my pain. These are the same physical therapists who work with elite marathon runners. So soon, I was back to running, but without pain. You got this.
It all starts at Athletico. Schedule your free assessment at athletico.com.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections. When it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment. And you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Cornerstone Bank proudly serves Nebraska with a full line of loan and deposit products. Cornerstone is large enough to handle all of your financial needs while offering the personal service you deserve and the local decision-making you expect from a family-owned community bank. Stop in or call one of the Cornerstone Bank locations near you to discover the Cornerstone difference. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Loan subject to approval.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. All right, welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Greg out at the Outland Trophy Award ceremony tonight. He MCs that every year, and so he is out at that tonight. But not only do they honor the Outland Trophy Award winner, but they also honor the Nebraska Senior Award winners. And Jojo Doman won the Tom Novak Award this year. And what a career Jojo had. And, you know, I got a chance to talk with him. He's one of the first football players I did a feature story on, and in my first Cornhusker conversation. And, you know, what a journey. He, you know, tore the ACLs and had to battle back, and, you know, was switched positions and kind of found a role, and was so versatile and was able to be called on to do so many different things. And after last season, he was named a second-team All-American by the Associated Press and Pro Football Focus, and he got an invite. He'll be going to the Combine, which is huge for players to get that invite. He'll also be at the Senior Bowl. I think that's next week. And then, and then Pro Day and all of that. So big kind of opportunity for Jojo moving forward as he looks to kind of find a fit for his team, whatever team might look to maybe plug him in at the next level in the NFL. So he was kind enough to call in. Again, he's in town for this award ceremony tonight, and he was kind enough to call in and spend some time with us. And we talked about a number of different topics, but kind of first talking about his health after his season-ending injury right after the Ohio State game. Well, Jojo, I know the last time we saw you, you walked off the field after the game against Ohio State, and you had season-ending surgery. How you doing health-wise? How have you been recovering since the surgery?
I've been doing well. Really just trusting the process, trusting that my rehab people are going to get me back, and that the Lord has a plan, and when it's go time, then I'm good to go.
Yeah, Coach Frost had talked about that there was no way that you weren't going to play in that game. You know, how much did that mean to you to play one more game in that game against Ohio State?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it meant the world to me to be able to go out on my own terms. Knowing it was my last game, it really gave me that extra fuel in the tank, just to leave everything out there like I tried to do every Saturday. And, man, to go out the way that we did, I hate that my season was cut short, but I'm thankful that it even lasted this long.
Yeah, I mean, so you're in town right now. You're going to go to the Outland Trophy Award ceremony. You are receiving the Tom Novak Award, one of those prestigious awards that's given to this team year in and year out. But, I mean, again, you just think about all the things that you overcame here and just the contributions that you made for 6 seasons. I mean, how thankful are you now that it's kind of all done, that you were a Husker?
Yeah, I don't even have the words to express the gratitude that I have for this opportunity and life experience and to be a part of this community. And I mean, I've learned lessons here that I'll take with me for the rest of my life. I've met people here that I'll continue to have relationships with the rest of my life. So thankful is an understatement. And, you know, I'm blessed to be a part of the Cornhusker, the family.
You know, I've talked to a few guys, the seniors that are done, and some guys that are seniors coming back that are going to be leaders. And, you know, I know you guys went into last season, you know, wanting to go to a bowl game, and you know, you were so close in so many games. But do you feel good about, you know, the leadership that you kind of had last year, kind of what you guys put in place to kind of continue to set this program up for the future?
Yeah, I think, we did lose a lot of close games, but I don't think without the player-led leadership in that locker room that those games are that close. So, I mean, you can look at the glass half full or half empty, and I choose to look at it half full. And I believe in a lot of those guys coming back, like the Garrett Nelsons, of the team that, we're going to do everything in their power to turn this thing around and to bring guys along with them. And it's guys like that give me faith in our program.
The way that Black Shirts played week in and week out, you guys were so connected and fought together. And, a lot of times when you could get frustrated and, hang it up, a lot of teams might have thrown in the towel at times, but you guys kept battling. What was it about, that group of Black Shirts that you guys just kind of really came together and were so close and just had such a fight and wanted to fight with each other week in and week out?
Yeah. I mean, Markel, Dismute, Ben Stilley, and I have been here since 2016. And then a lot of the other guys, the Deontay, Honus, like Taylor, like we've been playing together for 3-4 years. So just the trust level that we had in another and knowing that there's other guys counting on us, and actually there's a whole team counting on us, and there's a whole state counting on us. So, I mean, despite the results and how everything went, like we had the predisposition that we were going to show up every day and every game, no matter who it was, and kick the guys' tails across from us. So that was the mindset, and it showed out. And we were, even on defense, like we could have made a couple more plays that could have turned the tide of the season. But it's a team game, and we were just trying to hold up our part.
How much, again, I think everybody week in and week out, opposing offenses, you would be the guy's name, you would be the name that, coaches, offensive coordinators would single out as that guy's a nightmare. But your versatility was something that I think across college football people took notice of. You obviously, a lot of it was God-given. I know you work your tail off, but how much was, kind of what Chenander and this defense kind of allowed you to do, maybe helped you kind of reach that full potential of being so versatile and playing so many different roles for this defense?
Yeah, I think coming in as a safety, and that's who I was in high school. I trained with Brian Dawkins in high school, like the Hall of Fame safety. So I was on his 7-on-7 team, and from that age on, coverage was kind of ingrained, instilled in me. And then getting the opportunity with Frost and Chenander to move to outside backer, I had to learn some new skills of, setting edges, getting off blocks, playing in a 6 technique. And I kind of got well versed in that aspect, and just for them to bring me back to the second level and play more of the coverage component. I'm really just a football player, and I'm going to continue to learn the skills that it takes to be successful on the football field and help my team win. And I'm sure I'm not done learning. I know I'm not done learning, and I'm ready for whatever role my team needs me to play.
So give us a name of a defensive player for fans to be on the lookout for going into spring football and into fall.
Obviously everyone's going to be watching Garrett Nelson, and rightfully so. That dude is the motor. He's the motor. I'm excited to see Casey Rogers. He's seen some early success, and he's a great person, and he just continues to develop. So I'm excited to see how he pans out. And on top of, our 2 inside backers were stellar for us this year, and I'm excited to watch them grow and become even better football players. And even Blaze Gunnarsson, a young guy that won a scout team award for the season, but is just always showing up to work, always giving everything he has. He's got a great prototype body, and, once he can just put it all together, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So, and that's not even to mention, like, the young secondary that we have that has a lot of potential. So, it's just about putting it together. Everybody has talent across the entire country. It's how much can you play like a team? And there's 11 guys out there, and one guy can't win it all for everybody.
I kind of buried the lead here, but congratulations getting the invite to go to the NFL Combine. What was that like when you got that news?
Man, it's still surreal, Jessica. Like, I'm going to the Senior Bowl in a week and a half, and it won't feel real till I touch down in Mobile. So, man, I'm just taking it day by day. I'm process oriented right now. just trying to stay focused on what I can control. And I'm just so blessed with all these opportunities to showcase my God-given ability.
Yeah, I mean, you take it day by day, but what are some of the things that, I mean, obviously you got to get healthy, but that you feel like you have got to really hone in on and be able to display to these teams as you kind of go through this draft process?
Yeah, I just got to show them that I can cover, and they're going to want to see they're going to want to find my ceiling, so to speak, for like how good can he cover? How fast can he cover? Like, can he cover X receivers, Z receivers, slot receivers, or is he more specialized in tight end running backs? And my goal is that I can just cover anybody that lines up across from me. A guy you can't keep off the field on third down. So, yeah, I don't really have much expectations. The only thing I expect is to give it my all and to let everything else kind of fall into place.
Hey, what are the odds that Cam Jurgens probably puts up the fastest line of all, or fastest 40 time of any offensive lineman in this year's draft class?
Jurgens is gonna post the best time, yeah. And like I don't see it going any other way. I think like his vertical jump and broad jump's gonna just be insane too. So a combine and a pro day for him is gonna show the team like what they have and what they can develop with. So I'm excited to see how he does.
And Cam Taylor-Britt also going to get to go through some of these, events with you as well. How special is that to kind of get to go through this process with somebody that you've played a lot of ball with?
He deserves it. He earned it. He's a heck of a talent, and any team to get him is getting a playmaker. So it is nice to have him and at the Senior Bowl and at the Combine. And I don't know how much we'll be able to see each other, but it will be comforting to know that I got somebody in my corner out there, and hoping that we can showcase ourselves.
Last thing I got for you, what would be your message to Husker fans that, you are no doubt a fan favorite. People here love you and appreciated, you've given your all every single Saturday, but then also your message to them for during your career, but also for this program moving forward.
Well, just know that, Husker faithful, I love you just as much as you love me, and that this is a two-way street. And it's the love that you guys have for our program that makes this program worth grinding for and worth waking up at 5 a.m. for. And just like when I was injured, just the thought of playing in front of the 90,000 fans in Memorial just got me going. And then to fulfill that dream was unbelievable. So thank you guys for making my dreams come true and being part of my journey. And now I'm a fan with you guys. So let's root on our Huskers, stay positive, and just love each other by all means. So.
Jojo, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Congratulations on everything, and thanks for helping me out on my first year covering the Huskers. You were great to work with.
You got it. It's been a pleasure, Jessica. Thank you.
Thanks again to Jojo for spending some time, and he's awesome. Always great insight. You heard some of the names that he picked to watch out for. Casey Rogers will be coming off surgery. He had surgery right at the end of the season, so we'll see how quickly he can get back and out onto the field. I'm not sure if he will be competing in spring football, but getting some guys healthy as they'll hit the ground running when spring football starts. So I told you guys wrong. The Reese's Senior Day, Senior Bowl is coming up on February 5th, Saturday, February 5th. But it's kind of a week-long thing that, they have a lot of workouts, and a lot of guys kind of catch some attention and kind of earn some money throughout all of the workouts that kind of take place and the meetings and meeting with GMs and personnel from all these NFL teams all throughout that week. And then Tuesday, March 1st through Monday, March 7th is the NFL Combine that both Cam Taylor-Britt and JoJo will be participating in. And again, you always hear about, these guys when they kind of go through the draft process, that it is really a grind. It's you can kind of be stressful, and you got to be willing to pick up the phone and sometimes travel anywhere and everywhere to meet with teams, and you don't know kind of what your future holds. You just kind of got to, as you heard Jojo say, kind of keep your head down and take it day by day and take care of your business every single day to kind of hopefully win a team over, and they'll give you a shot. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for both Jojo and Cam Taylor-Britt. And again, he's been awesome to me all season long. The thing about, you heard me asking about the leaders and the culture that was in place. And I said it all throughout the season. I've been covering football teams for a long time, and this is one of the most enjoyable teams, one of the most enjoyable seasons, despite, just the 3 wins, because of how great of people that this team had, and Jojo was certainly one of those. And I really think that they, even though when they came into the season and they all kind of decided that they wanted to come back, they had different kind of goals in mind. But I still feel like a lot of them left feeling good about the impact that they made and where they kind of left this program. And hopefully you heard him talk about Garrett Nelson, Luke Reimer, some of those guys that played a lot with these super seniors that have moved on will embrace that role of being the leader for those black shirts. So we'll see how it all goes down. But again, thanks to Jojo, and best of luck to him as he kind of goes through this draft process. All right, let's take another quick break. But coming up next, let's talk some NFL. So we talked about Jojo maybe getting to the NFL. Let's talk a current NFL team in the Kansas City Chiefs. Starting left tackle and Pro Bowler Orlando Brown will be joining us here on Sports Nightly. Keep it right here.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to listen in on a transmission from Major Laura Stanton, the first person on Mars after a 7-month mission to the planet.
Houston, do you read me?
Copy that, Major. Anything you need?
Yeah, what were last night's Powerball numbers?
With the starting jackpot in the millions and drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, everybody wants to know about Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery.
What's it look like there, Major?
Red.
Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
At Subaru, they love building vehicles for those who pack a lot into life. The redesigned 2021 Crosstrek is their way of saying more power to you. An upgrade in horsepower means you have a world of fun and adventure waiting for you. And the Crosstrek comes with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Visit DeToe Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or at DeToeSubaru.com. Upgraded horsepower available on select models.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You live in a smart home powered by Cox Internet, so you're not thinking about the pizza delivery. You're thinking how nice it is to get everyone together for a fun night. You're not thinking about the pizza. Maybe just a little.
Cox Home Life. Show me the front porch camera.
Pizza!
View your Cox Home Life cameras right from your TV using your Contour voice remote. Visit cox.com/thisishome to learn more.
Advertised features require subscription to Cox Internet and Contour TV. A high-speed internet connection is required. Home Life Security Services subject to Home Life Security Service Agreement. Cox Home Life Services provided by Cox licensed entities. See cox.com/licenses.
Stay up to date with the most current and latest news by following the Huskers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and more. These social media homes provide the fastest daily updates on everything surrounding Nebraska athletics, including game times, results, ticket promotions, prize giveaways, and more. Log on to also follow several sport-specific pages and Husker head coaches. Join today and interact with thousands of Husker fans around the world. Visit huskers.com/social media to see all of our accounts.
Drive bold, drive GMC.
You never know what lies ahead, so trust the powerful and innovative features of the 2022 GMC Canyon, or elevate your driving experience with the driver-focused technologies and handcrafted materials in the 2022 GMC Sierra 1500. Experience the difference at Woodhouse Buick GMC. We make it easy to shop, finance, and purchase in-store or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
What's better than Huskers basketball? A Husker basketball VIP package. Enter for a chance to win 4 tickets to a game, hospitality access with food, a signed basketball, and the chance to hang courtside during warm-up, all courtesy of Nomi Health, your convenient COVID-19 testing partner. So, get tested and help stop the COVID spread and enter to score a Husker basketball VIP package. Slam dunk, indeed. To enter, visit huskers.com/Nomi, huskers.com/NOMI.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, even longer term than your first ride on the Gravitron at the county fair. And even longer term than the line to buy the corn dog you definitely shouldn't have eaten before you got on the Gravitron. Oof, so long-term.
Hi, it's Nick Luxinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 402-740-6445 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
The Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Man, it's been a fun NFL season so far, and hopefully it continues to be super entertaining as the NFL playoffs get underway this weekend. And the Steelers and the Chiefs coming up 7:15 in Kansas City on Sunday night. You guys that listen to the show every night know that our two producers, Andrew and Tim, are diehard Steelers fans. So I thought this is a perfect time to get on a Kansas City Chief, to kind of talk playoffs and how they're going to knock off the Steelers coming up on Sunday. So made a call to Orlando Brown Jr., who I worked with at Oklahoma, who was traded to the Chiefs this summer, and got a chance to talk with him about what really turned around the Chiefs season, but then also what to look for moving forward. So he joined us on the phone earlier. Joining us on the phone now is Pro Bowler and starting left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs, Orlando Brown Jr. And Orlando and I go back, obviously, to Oklahoma. I knew Orlando when he came in, and a lot of people maybe doubted that you'd be where you are, a Pro Bowler starting left tackle for the Chiefs. But I appreciate you spending some time with us as you guys head into the playoffs this week. How's Kansas City treating you?
I absolutely love it here. Kansas City is an amazing city. They love their football here. Guys, it's been nothing but just a ton of love since I've been here.
Yeah, what's it like playing in Arrowhead?
Arrowhead is crazy. So Arrowhead, even before when I was in Baltimore, we played out here a few times, and it was always like crazy atmosphere, crazy weather. I think my rookie year we played out here was like 19 degrees for like a 12 o'clock kickoff, and man, it's a very loud stadium, but it's kind of got a college feel to it a little bit.
Well, I told you that there's a lot of fans here in Lincoln and Nebraska that are Kansas City fans, and I got to admit to you earlier on back in October on this show, I doubted you guys. I mean, you had 4 losses earlier, and I saw like some statistics that you guys had a really slim chance of getting back to the playoffs. After you had those 4 early losses, what's changed? What's clicked for this team?
Yeah, I don't really know if there's any one thing to pinpoint, but I do feel as though, man, we attacked it 1 week at a time, and obviously we dropped the ball versus Cincinnati, and that one hurt, but. We just took it 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time, 1 day at a time, just tried to attack the day. Coach Reed was emphasizing that, just attacking the day. being the best person you could be in the weight room, being the best player you could be in a meeting, the best player on the field when you're out each and every rep at practice, really just simplifying it. And I feel like that really just elevated our game. You know what I mean? We were able to focus and then continuously get better after that Tennessee game.
What about specifically on the offensive line? I mean, replacing so many starters, and you were new in that position and that team, and obviously Creed's a rookie, and you had so many guys that hadn't really played together. How much is it kind of you guys kind of getting a feel and building that chemistry on the offensive line as well?
Yeah, that's so important too. You know, Coach Reed and Coach Hack have done an amazing job really just allowing us to grow together, taking so many reps together in the off season, regular season games, preseason games with Pat. It's just allowed us to grow. And, you know, like you said, it's a pretty young group, you know, when you think about it. Just normally in the NFL, you know, you don't have, you know, 2 to 3 rookies starting on the NFL offensive line. And, you know, it's crazy. But Pat's been doing an amazing job in the pocket. Our receivers have been getting open. You know, our coach is great. Coach Hack is amazing. You know, the system is amazing. It's really just been everybody coming together and really just buying in and playing as one.
What's it been like for you kind of moving into, you know, this kind of offense where they do throw it so much? You go from Lamar, who runs it so much, and then Pat, who throws it all over the place.
I love it. I love it. You know, this type of system, you know, it gives me the opportunity to do something I've never done. You know, it's very different for me. It's very different from Oklahoma, Baltimore. You know, it's a very different system, even in the run game. But it's been a challenge for me, and you know I've really embraced it. I'm loving the opportunity it gives me. You know what I mean? With me being such a big guy, being able to play in space, being able to block one-on-one. Man, I mean, I absolutely love it. Love all the pass protection, and we win games. So, you know, to be honest with you, it's not much to complain about for me.
You know, a lot of people probably that have followed your career know your story, but, you know, when you were looking to, you know, maybe switch teams and making the move to Kansas City from Baltimore, playing left tackle was really important to you. And it's not just, you know, starting at left tackle and being the blindside protector. I mean, it kind of has deeper meaning. Can you kind of give us a quick story breakdown of that for fans that might not know?
Yeah, you know, so my dad played in the NFL for 13 years, and he was a right tackle for all 13. He played defense mostly in college and then switched to offensive line his last year. And, you know, so he played from 93 to 06, but he was a part of the 96 Ravens, which was the first year the organization started, and they drafted Jonathan Ogden. And, you know, he was able to see how he grew and how important the left tackle position was. And so growing up, you know, he always expressed to me, you know, the importance of understanding, you know, offensive tackle, but really understanding left tackle and understanding that, you know, I could be different, you know, because at the time there wasn't too many, you know, guys similar to my dad's frame like myself playing the left tackle position. You know, I'm a limited athlete. My skill set isn't, you know, like most of these guys that run 4.9s and 4.8s. So, you know, my game is very different, but you know, for me, it was just more so that emotional connection to the left tackle position. Obviously, had played it in high school, playing it in college, and just kind of what my dad always dreamt of me being a left tackle in this league.
And so now you're protecting one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL with Patrick Mahomes. What's that been like, and how have you kind of gone about developing the relationship with Mahomes?
Oh, it's been so cool. It's been so cool. He's a great player, man, but even a better guy. And, you know, when you're dealing with a quarterback like him, you know, you like to learn the way that he likes to throw the ball, the different spots he likes to throw the ball off, the understanding of where he likes to drift on certain concepts. And so as a tackle, as a left tackle, you know, that's important for me to really get in the field. As for me to be able to play the game within the game, you know what I mean? Like, it's chess, not checkers when you're out there. So, you know, Pat's been great, man. Like, just the way he's been moving in the pocket, the throws that he's able to make, how consistently he gets the ball out. I mean, it's nothing short of a blessing being able to play with and for him.
I mean, you've played and protected some elite quarterbacks in college, obviously Heisman's, and then, you know, Lamar in Baltimore. But what is it that sets Pat apart? And I mean, is there times that maybe you're out there and you kind of are just wowed by some of the things that he does?
Yeah, I mean, you know, what sets him apart is kind of hard to say. I would definitely say he plays in a system where he gets a lot more opportunities, than Lamar would have gotten, in Baltimore. But he just has a crazy work ethic, man. He works really hard. He studies the game. He knows the coverages. He knows what we're going to run. He's got a different way of approaching the game, and I think that's why his play is able to be at such a high level.
Well, I mentioned at the top your third Pro Bowl selection, but how special was this one, your first one with the Chiefs and your first season with the Chiefs?
Yeah, it was special. It was special just because, like you said, just with it being my first year here, first year in a new system, new quarterback, all of those different things going into it. For my peers and coaches and, the general manager and front office to recognize me as a Pro Bowler was definitely special.
Well, you got a big one coming up on Sunday versus the Steelers. They lead the NFL in sacks. I mean, what is your job going to entail on Sunday to, again, keep protecting Mahomes back there?
Exactly. You said it. Just protecting Pat, making sure that he stays clean and executing the best of my abilities in the run game. I'm sure we'll have a good plan going into it, but it's a really good group. It's a really good team, too. And they got a lot of talent up front, as you said. I think they lead the league in sacks almost every year, I feel like. So it's a special group. So we'll have to bring our hard hats.
Do you, obviously I know, but you kind of take pride in that a little bit, facing that kind of challenge, right?
Yeah, of course, always. Just having the opportunity to play against the top dog. I mean, you always got to, look forward to those matchups, especially when you're playing on this level.
So you mentioned the loss to Cincinnati, but, going into this playoff, this playoff run and starting on Sunday, how do you feel? How does this team feel going into the, starting to kick things off on Sunday?
Super excited. We're just taking it 1 week at a time like we have been and really just, obviously attacking the day. We're excited for the challenge. Big Ben and Pittsburgh and, the teams behind them and all of these different things are going into it. So it's going to be a very competitive game, just simply with it being the playoffs as well. So we're just getting our mind right, our body right, and learning this game plan.
One of the coolest parts about your story, and you kind of hit on it a little bit about, you weren't necessarily the most athletic person, after pro day and the numbers, and then here you go and you prove everybody wrong. You're starting left tackle and a Pro Bowler. I mean, for young kids and parents that might be listening in, can you kind of just maybe say what you hope to learn and kind of how you got through all of those kind of doubters and worked through those obstacles to get to where you are today?
Yeah, I think, we talk about it often, but, persevering, and no matter what career you're in. And something that my mom and dad always told me was stay the course. So for me, it's just really keeping faith in the Most High and understanding that he's got a plan for me regardless of what happens. And so, I just try to approach the day, each and every day, getting better, whether that be in the off season or in season, just trying to get better each and every day, attacking each and every rep with a tremendous amount of focus and really just having that confidence in myself, even though I've made mistakes, even though bad things have happened or whatever has happened, really just striving forward, looking forward, really just trusting in my faith.
Orlando, thanks so much for spending some time. It was great to talk to you. I get asked a lot about, my time at Oklahoma and who my favorite Sooners are, and no doubt you're at the top of the list. People can tell by listening to you, but you're that typical offensive lineman, and you have been that you were mean and nasty. It's one of the meanest and nastiest on the field, but then the kindest, nicest person off the field. So it's easy to root for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on, and go Chiefs.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
All right, so Steelers and Chiefs coming up 7:15 on Sunday. Got to take our final break and wrap things up coming up here on Sports Nightly.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to listen in on a transmission from Major Laura Stanton, the first person on Mars after a 7-month mission to the planet.
Houston, do you read me?
Copy that, Major. Anything you need?
Yeah, what were last night's Powerball numbers?
With the starting jackpot in the millions and drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, everybody wants to know about Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery.
What's it look like there, Major?
Red.
Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Don't let the cold winter worry you. As Nebraska's leading supplier of propane, you can count on Sapp Brothers to keep your family warm this winter. You're like family, and your safety is the #1 priority of Sapp Brothers. When it comes to your propane needs, Sapp Brothers has you covered. Visit www.sappbros.net/petroleum to find your local Sapp Brothers propane expert. Celebrating 50 years of fueling America's heartland and welcoming guests, Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
I'm Bruce Chubbuck, and I'm your local Flat Branch Home Loans lender. At Flat Branch Home Loans, we pride ourselves on living, working, and playing in the communities we serve. In my playing days at the University of Nebraska, I was known as a blue-collar worker. I take the same pride in being your mortgage professional as I did in representing Husker Nation. Head to brucechubbuck.com to learn more. Let's get you home.
A division of Flat Branch Mortgage, Inc., NMLS 224149, Equal Housing Lender. For licensing info, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org.
Welcome back to our final segment here on Sports Nightly and our final show until next Tuesday. A busy week ahead for Husker Athletics as we look at what's on tap presented by Bud Light. A lot of ranked opponents on the slate for Husker teams. We start tomorrow night, Thursday, 5 o'clock. The women's basketball team at 6th ranked Indiana. So a big matchup there. And of course, Matt Courtney will have the call for you right here on the Huskers Radio Network, and Jeff Griesch. Friday, big matchup for Nebraska men's basketball as they go to number 7 Purdue. Wrestling at number 14 Minnesota. They'll look to bounce back after dropping to Purdue last weekend, and that's Friday at 8 o'clock. Women's gymnastics with a top 20 matchup as well against BYU with their home opener, 6:30 inside Devaney. So lots going on this weekend. I hope you guys enjoy all of your Husker sports watching, and thanks so much for listening tonight. Had a fun show and by myself tonight as Greg was at the Outland Trophy ceremony, so appreciate you guys tuning in and everybody who was a part of the show tonight. Jojo Doman, Bill Bush, Orlando Brown, and if you missed any of those interviews, I will have them posted on all of our Huskers Radio Network platforms. And thanks to Tim Mulhaupt. He's been here helping me grind this out and get all the content out here for you. So again, thanks so much for listening, and we will see you next Tuesday for our next show here on Sports Nightly. Buckle up and put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You're in the driver's seat with Woodhouse. Shop, finance, and buy your next vehicle your way. From the comfort of your home at woodhouse.com or one of our 19 dealerships, we've got something for everyone. From new stylish SUVs that blend comfort and capability, or a pre-owned truck packaged for durability and everyday functionality. When it's time to upgrade your drive, shop confidently with Woodhouse, serving customers and communities since 1975. This is Woodhouse.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to listen in on a transmission from Major Laura Stanton, the first person on Mars after a 7-month mission to the planet.
Houston, do you read me?
Copy that, Major. Anything you need?
Yeah, what were last night's Powerball numbers?
With the starting jackpot in the millions and drawings Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, everybody wants to know about Powerball from the Nebraska Lottery.
What's it look like there, Major?
Red.
Top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Flu season is here, and you can get your flu shot now at your Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and you can schedule your appointment online. Just go to Hy-Vee.com/mypharmacy. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver. This year, it's more important than ever to stay healthy. So go online to Hy-Vee.com/mypharmacy today